Hi all. Here's just a little short video on using Lightroom's sync function, or actually synchronization function. It's a pretty rockin' tool and saves me a lot of work. Basically, it allows you to take the changes you have made to one image and apply it to a whole bunch of images at the touch of a button. So let's get at it here. I'll put that away. Here we go. So I've got Lightroom open up here for you, and I've got some images selected here. I've got this guy here. You know, look at these were done during twilight kind of time, and so they're a little on the blue side kind of feeling to these. They feel a little bit cool to me in terms of the color, but you know, the reason for that these look a little bit blue maybe or uncorrected here is that they were shot as raw files. And when I imported them, I transferred them over to DNG files within Adobe, just so I wouldn't lose the information. Now here's a little habit that I do. I shoot raw mostly, because I like to go in and burn and dodge and work on the images a little bit. Professional photographers would laugh at me and say, gosh, you should be shooting JPEG and handling it during the exposure. Well, a professional photographer would also use strobe, flash, lighting, reflectors, all kinds of equipment to help the lighting of the scene when he's there photographing or she's photographing. I don't have that luxury when I'm out. I have my camera, I have the light that's there, and I have to deal with it mostly in post-production, as they say, during the Lightroom phase of things. So what I do when I'm photographing is make sure that I shoot a couple of things within the scene. Number one, I have this little color chart thing that I use. Actually, this is part of a larger system. I'm not going to talk too much about it. It's made by X-Rite. If you're interested, I think it's called Color Passport, something like that. Fantastic way of working with color in Lightroom. You might want to check that out. But I also have this other thing, which is a gray card. Now, my gray card is actually a piece of ripstop nylon that's medium gray that I can hold over the front of the lens and shoot through to the image. It averages everything to the average exposure, middle gray. That's what your camera light meter does. We talked about that in a previous module, I'm sure. So what I've got here is a nice medium gray, middle gray target to work with. So this I can actually use this to set the proper color balance, a white balance, for all of the images that I shot within this particular lighting area. So I'll show you how to do it, and I use this along with the sync tool to apply it to a whole batch of images here. So let's get started with this whole thing. So I called up my gray card here, which was shot in the same lighting situation. I've got that up on the screen here. Now down below, I've got a strip of images showing up down here, and I want to apply the changes to all of these. So I go over to this image over here, highlight it, hold down the Shift key. If I click on it, I've now selected this whole batch of images. But of course, the only one that's going to show is the one that I've originally highlighted, which is this lovely gray here. So let's do some stuff with it first. Let's set some things, then we can apply it to the rest of these images here. So we'll go to sync here. What do I want? Oh, let's close up my detail. We don't need to deal with that. So first I start with camera calibration, just like everything else. Open that up, see if there's anything I want to work with there. It says Adobe Standard. That's fine. Should be 2012 current. That's fine. I've got older versions. I just want to make sure I've got the latest going there. Next thing I'll do is I'll go up to lens corrections, just like you do. And watch what happens when I enable the lens correction. Look at the change in that value there. So it's very important to do this right at the start. This will change your exposure dramatically, sometimes. Now the last thing I'm going to do is to go up here and set the color temperature, or the proper white balance. I can use the one that I used when I shot it, photographed it. Look how blue that is. Whew. Or I can set a custom one, which is what this gray thing is all about. So if I click on this eyedropper over here, go over to this gray, click on it right in the middle. See how it neutralized everything? Boom. So that looks pretty neutralized compared to the way it was. I'll hit the backslash button and show you the way it used to look. Pretty cool. So there it is now. Now I want to apply this color change or white balance to all of these images done during this cool twilight time when I was photographing. So here we go. So I've got them all there. If I just click on sync, this is so easy to do. It's just crazy easy. If I click on white balance, I want to keep that going. Yeah. If I want to keep my lens corrections, because they're all shot with a 50mm lens, so I can use all of these. I don't really need to do any upright corrections. There's no architecture showing there. None of that. Is there anything else I want to apply to all of these things? No. I guess I can go with the same process version. And the calibration I can apply to all of those. So I'm going to synchronize these, and just takes a second here. Boom. So let's go back here. We'll open up this image over here, and we'll see what we've got. Here it is now after it's been color balanced to that gray card. Here it is before. Look at this difference in this. Now I haven't done anything to this. I've just color balanced this. So here it was before. Here it is after I applied that color balance. Before, after. See how much nicer it is after? Now I would go in and I'd burn and dodge, light and darken, and so forth. So it's pretty neat how this sync works. Here's another thing you can do with this sync, and we'll just take a little different thing here. Say we've got this image up, and we want to apply these changes to, I don't know, this image over here. Ooh, somehow it popped off of there. Let's go back here. We'll put this guy up. Come on. Where'd I go here? Oop, here we are. So we'll call this guy up here, and we'll go over to this guy over here. Okay. Now I've got this fella here, and this is quite often what I like to do with images is burn the edges down. And it's something you can do under the effects menu. And I'll show you this in another video also. But here's a little thing. What this does is burn the edges down, or crop. It's called post-crop vignetting kind of thing. So watch what happens when I bring this down. Bring it down, way down. See how the edges get really dark? If I bring it this way, they get white. Well, I just know from making prints and in the dark, working in the darkroom a lot, images usually look better when the edges are just a little bit darker than they were without this being applied. So here it is. Look at this. So I'll come down here, and I'm going to turn it on and off. There it is. Oop, where are we here? I'm going to turn it on and off. So, well, I guess I can't. It just keeps popping open on me. So there we go. Now I want to apply that to all of these images. So I just simply go down here to sync. This is all set here. Now what did I do? I wanted to do a little post-crop vignetting. So I'll click on that effects. The grain, I don't really care about the grain, and I will synchronize. So all of these images have that similar kind of thing. Let's see. Let's show you a before, backslash. There's before. All right. Also without the color balance before. Here's the after. Before, after. Look at how neutralized that image gets. So all those little colors, I think I'd probably more saturate this guy, when I actually work on him. But I'm pretty close there just by looking at these individual images here. Here's a before. There it was before. There it was after we applied these things. Amazing. So that's about it for now, and that synchronize tool is fantastic. It works with in the develop module. It works in the library module. You first select a batch, and the one that's been initially selected, you apply the changes to that. You do what you want to that, and then apply it to the rest of the images in that strip. It's that simple. It's pretty amazing. If you don't like what you did, click on reset. But understand, reset resets everything. So it's not just not just your last move, but all of your moves. So be careful with that. So later, that's enough for this video. If I can get it to turn off here, I'll say see you later.